The opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Cable 14, its sponsors, or its shareholders, Cogeco Cable, Shaw Cable, and Source Cable Limited.
Welcome to Persistence Pays. I'm your host, Lori Roudnask. On today's show, we're going to talk to some young adults who have done some incredible things for their age. And my first guest is Colin Heyens. And Colin, I want to thank you for being here today and to share with us some of the incredible things that you've done. I know that you were the Stony Creek Chamber of Commerce Humanitarian Award winner last year, and you were recognized with the Queen Elizabeth II Diamond Jubilee Medal, so congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You've done some incredible things, and you're 18 years old, and I want to just talk about your persistence, because you have traveled over 80,000 miles to volunteer in different parts of the world internationally, and you've done some great things here in the city of Hamilton as well. So first, let's just talk about, where did you get the idea to start to do great things in other parts of the world?
The first volunteer trip that I went on was in December of 2008 to New Orleans, Louisiana, which is the hardest hit place by Hurricane Katrina back in 2005. And even though I was there for 3 years after, the devastation of the city was still so great. It's quite indescribable, actually. And so my mom took me down there, and there we spent 3 days, I believe, rebuilding a house, putting on drywall, doing insulation and all that stuff. And ever since, I've been hooked.
Now, what really motivated you to want to keep doing more? What did you learn from that first experience?
That life is so precious in a way, and that what you have in life you can't take for granted. And I have a house that I live in. I have loving parents. I have 5 awesome siblings. And a single day can impact that so greatly. And for those people in New Orleans, and some people are born into a situation where they don't have any of that. And so that's where my around the world volunteering comes in. I want to help those who were born and have grown up and who really need my help and time and passion, really.
That's awesome. So where did you go after New Orleans?
After that would be probably my next big trip was to Ecuador with the organization Midawi, and they're just an incredible organization. Maybe
tell us a little bit about what Midawi is.
They're an organization run by, probably everybody's heard the name before, Mark and Craig Kielberger. And they just do an incredible job with building schools all over the world for deserving kids who need an education, who want an education. And that's the big key, is they want to be able to learn. And I find that absolutely incredible, seeing as though here sometimes those school mornings are tough to wake up for, and yet all these other kids are just dying to go to school, you know.
They want to learn. They have a keen interest to learn.
Oh, exactly. Their passion for learning is just so great. They just want to be at school all day long, or as long as they can. And to be able to bring that dream to so many kids is just incredible for that organization. And for me to be a part of it, just a small part of it, is pretty special.
So what did you do there?
First, in this tiny little remote town of maybe 100 people, we started off a new elementary school. It was maybe 30 feet by 30 feet, made of mud blocks and straw. But what was especially cool is we were building it alongside all of the community members. So that, I think, was the best part, just being able to immerse yourself into their culture just for a short while, just for 2 weeks, but is an experience I'll never forget.
So hands-on learning, how did you learn how to do those tasks already?
Yeah, it's going in, I was 16 years old. I've never been out of the United States or Canada, so this is my first time to the third world, and it was just, you learn so much about yourself and about what's happening in the world around you. And to get into the particulars, how to make bricks with mud and straw, right?
Yeah.
So it's just, and how to build houses with that, build schools with that, you know. And it's just, it's such a learning experience for both myself and for the community. Such a great experience.
And you probably just feel so amazing when you're working there, when you see the accomplishments of how far of what you can accomplish in 2 short weeks.
Absolutely, it's pretty unreal.
And then from there, what triggered you to go somewhere else?
My next major trip would probably be my trip this past March, so it's just about 1 year ago, which is pretty crazy in itself, to Thailand, where myself and 19 other Canadians all met up in Thailand, and there we built 2 houses from the ground up and finished them all in a week and a half.
Wow.
And so that was just for 2 deserving families in need in more remote parts of Thailand, but fairly close to the city. But
So 2 houses built to completion.
Yep, to completion.
So you must have worked pretty hard.
Oh yeah.
Long,
they were very long
hours?
days.
Yeah.
But we were 20 very hard-working people. So, and I give credit to all the other 19 for doing such a great job out there.
Yeah.
We were such a wide range group, ranging from 16 years old to 65. So that's what's really cool.
So what did you learn from that experience?
Again, it was a totally new experience to go to Southeast Asia. It's just indescribable how different it is from anywhere I've ever been before. And again, with this was with Habitat for Humanity. And again, they work alongside the actual homeowners to build the houses. It's not like we just come in, put up the house, and they move in. No, they have to put in their effort as well, which working alongside them, getting to know their names, getting to meet their children, getting to meet their parents, getting to really hear how they were raised and their whole lifestyle, just how different it truly is. And yet they're living on the same planet, right?
Yeah.
And it's just,
and they must be just overwhelmed and have a lot of gratitude.
Oh yeah. There's one picture, I didn't take it, but I do keep it with me in my bedroom, but of one of the homeowners shaking the hand of one of the group members of my team. It wasn't me, and just the look in his eyes, it's indescribable. It truly is.
A look you'll never forget. Yeah.
Very
now, Colin,
so.
you're amazing in that you're very athletic as well, and you love to run.
Yes.
And one of the things that I love about you is that you not only ran a marathon, which is 42 kilometers, and a lot of people have no desire to ever do such a thing. I have ran the New York City Marathon myself, so I know the commitment and persistence that it takes to train.
Yes.
But not only did you run a marathon, you dribbled a basketball 42 kilometers. So tell us what, and you raised a lot of money for City Kids, I believe it was.
I did. Yep. Yeah, it was raising money for City Kids as well as the Joy and Hope of Haiti, and that second organization is especially in my heart because I do have a Haitian sister. We adopted her when she was 5 years old, and so it's a spot deep in my heart that I really have a passion for in helping Haiti and all that it needs. But yeah, so in the summer of 2011. Yeah, summer of 2011, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I got a postcard from a very distant relative of mine with about Dribble the World. And so it is an organization based in New Jersey. And what they do is they organize people all around North America to run marathons for the charity of their choice, which is really cool. And what they do is they help to spread the word, and they have a lot of connections, so they're able to get those connections for the dribblers. And it's just a great organization run by a great guy by the name of Dan Uchagrasso. So he's a great guy.
Well, you raised a lot of money for City Kids, and you've raised a lot of money for, done a lot of great things internationally, but also in our community. So, Colin, good for you, and congratulations on all your success. Now you're in university.
Yes.
And we wish you all the success while you're at Ottawa University.
Thank you very much.
So stay tuned, and we'll be right back with another amazing young adult, Nadia.
This program contains mature themes. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ever since I became aware of my surroundings, I always wondered, where did I come from? Where am I going? And why am I here? I'm sure you have all asked these questions again and again. I was taught that all lives are equal and every life is precious, that nature alone is good, which refrains from doing unto another whatsoever is not good for itself. We're inside. Behind me there are two monkeys and they're clinging on to each other because that's really all that they have left, and it's really depressing to look at. The smell is overwhelming. It smells like death. It's disgusting. It was hard to watch.
Cruelty is that which inflicts excessive pain of all types, of any type.
But we are careful because I'm a farmer, and we deal with we deal with raising livestock to be killed, and so I think I'm the wrong person for you to be talking to about that.
I can't tell you of a farmer that hasn't stood and cried as an animal went down the driveway out to the butcher shop.
Why do you like meat?
Because it tastes better.
I enjoy eating meat.
You know, I love them all.
Americans now eat 1 million animals per hour. It's more than 9 billion per year.
From farming to food processing, it is a huge industry in Ontario, contributing billions to our economy and supporting thousands of jobs.
I tried to do the vegan thing for a little while. I just couldn't. I couldn't hack it.
I hate vegetables. It's nothing against meat. It's not just that I love meat, but I also just can't stand eating vegetables.
Meat to me seems like eating flesh and bones, and when you start looking at chicken, it's like body parts and things like that. It just turns me off.
You know, you and I may have our opinions, but the Canada Food Guide is the result of in-depth research and consultation with over 5,000 dietitians and other health experts.
Beef is an excellent source of iron, but it's also an excellent source of artery-clogging saturated animal fat, which raises one's cholesterol, primary risk factor for the #1 killer in the United States.
It's not coming this way?
Yeah.
It's not gonna hurt us.
I'd like to welcome Nadia Masoudi to the studio now. And Nadia is a filmmaker and an activist and the founder of Animal Freedom Day. And Nadia, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
What we just saw was a little piece of your documentary.
Yes.
And I mean, you're quite remarkable for a 20-year-old.
You
started Animal Freedom Day when you were 16.
Mm-hmm.
And you became a vegetarian at the age of 12, and then a vegan at the age of 16.
Yes.
So maybe tell me a little bit about the difference between a vegetarian and a vegan.
Well, the difference between a vegetarian and a vegan is that a vegan is someone who completely refrains from eating any animal products whatsoever or any animal byproducts, which includes milk, eggs, dairy, or honey, just anything that comes from an animal, whereas a vegetarian might still consume milk or eggs or butter or honey or something like that.
Okay, great. Now, what inspired you to start Animal Freedom Day, and tell us what Animal Freedom Day really means?
Okay, well, Animal Freedom Day is an event that takes place once a year, every fourth Saturday of July, and it's the day that we created where we encourage people to go one day animal free. At least one. We want every day to be an animal-free day, but we realize that some people, need time getting into the swing of things in that aspect. So Animal Freedom Day gives this opportunity to people to take part in the event and go one day animal-free. And they can get involved in other ways too. It's kind of like a celebratory day. So if someone's like an artist, they can show their support by, maybe painting a piece for it or writing a poem for it. So there's different ways to get involved. And Animal Freedom Day really kind of started from the documentary. And the first Animal Freedom Day is actually featured in the documentary Don't Eat Me as kind of like the climactic moment for the film, and we show like what happened on the first Animal Freedom Day and how different people from around the world and a lot of people, thousands of people, took part and acknowledged this day, and were involved in different countries and different like politicians and religious leaders and stuff like that. So it was really good to kind of get that going.
And how did you get the word out?
A lot of social networking helps with that, and just connecting with different people from around the world and emailing them and just letting them know what's happening and letting them know that no matter where you are in the world, you can take part in this day.
And what happens on that day? I know you've got entertainment.
Yes, for sure. And we generally put on a live webcast that day of like the main event, I guess you can say, which is we have different musicians that come on board, kind of like a Live Aid event. So they'll come on out and play different songs and music, and we'll have different acts or different people showing their support in different ways. And we have it online, and you can access that generally through the Animal Freedom Day website or other areas online. And we encourage other people to take part in it and watch it, or however they want to kind of participate in the event.
Where is it being held this year?
Well, it's held anywhere throughout the world.
Okay.
But this year we will be having another live webcast so people can watch it online if they want to and take part wherever.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now you're also writing a book, so tell me a little bit about that.
I am writing a book that kind of details this whole journey and experience that I've been through with Animal Freedom Day and Don't Eat Me, and just different situations that I've experienced with it, the good and the bad, and there's quite a bit of both. So
I'm sure, yes, because you're going to have the people who are vegetarians and vegans that are going to be right behind you, and you're going to have the other side where you are taking a lot of heat.
Exactly.
So how do you handle that? How do you handle that heat from the people that are in that business?
Yeah, I actually. I guess it kind of keeps me going to like have differing opinions when people don't really agree with me so much, and I try not to be biased, and I like to hear what their views are and why people don't agree with me, and certain kind of like issues that they have with whatever their stance is on the subject. And it's a really touchy subject, so everyone is really opinionated when it comes to it for the most part. So I mean, I take it with a grain of salt, and I try to like listen to them and then try to tell them why I do what I do, kind of thing.
And that takes a lot of bravery from your part to really, I'm sure some of the things are quite hurtful that people say to you. And
they can be, yeah, for
and
sure.
So good for you for having broad shoulders and standing up for what you really feel is right in your heart, and in a lot of other people as well. So any completion date for your book coming out?
The book is planned to be released the same time as the film, so we're hoping, maybe sometime this year. It's still in the works in post-production, but yeah, so maybe this year or next year, the latest kind of thing, but it'll be released the same time as the film.
So what have you learned through this experience?
I've learned quite a bit, I guess, but what I've learned is to kind of, that what I believe in is really, it's really important, and it's not just really even about animals. There's so much more connected to it, and it's really, when you go animal free, it's not just for the animals. Like, you're helping the environment, you're helping world hunger, because the amount of meat that we consume in North America and countries that are more privileged, and the amount of room and space that we use for factory farming to feed a lot of people here could instead be used to plant other type of grains or wheat or soy that can feed other people who are hungry in different impoverished nations. So I feel like and of course with the whole environmental thing with global warming, that's the #1 cause of it is from factory farming. So there's a lot of different issues that kind of fall under animal rights and what we are trying to, fight for this cause. So it's it's a lot that goes with it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Animal Freedom Day, you started it 4 years ago. So that first year was to go 1 day.
1 day, yes.
And then the next year was 2 days.
2 days is the goal, and then third year 3 days, and then now the fourth year 4 days. So we kind of add a day each year for people to try to go animal free and kind of like wean you into a vegan diet and lifestyle, if you will.
And then what's your big goal? Your big goal is to go...
Yeah, by many years down the line, I guess 365 years, we hope that people have gone a full year of going animal free, and then by that point we hope that they just carry on with it and stick with it for the rest of their lives. But
that's a big goal.
It is a big long-term goal.
That's a big goal, and you're quite persistent with your goals, because
yes.
I think that even putting events on and doing all of the things that you've done take a lot of time, and you are in school still. And that's the thing that is really amazing about you, is that not only are you doing all of these things behind the scenes, and you've traveled quite extensively for your documentary,
yes,
and still maintaining good marks in university.
For the most part, yes.
And how do you fit it all in?
A lot of balance, I guess, is just prioritizing everything, organizing everything, which, I mean, gets really tough at times, but you just have to know when to do what and what's important to you, and sometimes you have to make sacrifices, whether it's with your social life or something like that, but at the end of the day, you just pretty much have to rank what's important to you and what you need to get out there and do in life.
Okay, well, good for you.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations on all the things that you've accomplished so far.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that we'll hear more about it as time comes.
Thank you.
So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Persistence Pays.